Welcome to the render loop. If you're a creator or even just on Instagram a lot, I bet you've felt it. Something's different. The algorithm saw a massive overhaul in 2025. So today, we're going to break down exactly how this new system works and, way more importantly, how you can make it work for you. Seriously, have you been scrolling lately and just had that feeling? Maybe you're seeing more stuff from your actual friends, or you're getting reels that are just weirdly specific to you. Well, you're not imagining it. Something really fundamental has changed. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the big picture shift. Then, we're going to decode how each part of the app actually works now. After that, we'll build a solid growth strategy and wrap it all up with your 2025 playbook. Let's just dive right in. So what's the big idea here? For years, it really felt like Instagram was just playing catch up with TikTok. But in 2025, Meta made a huge pivot. They're not just trying to keep you endlessly scrolling anymore, they're trying to build something more valuable, more personal, to stop us all from getting burnt out. See, the old way was all about chasing virality, just getting the most eyeballs on a post for the longest time possible. The new goal is what they're calling personalized retention, and that just means the algorithm is now laser-focused on content you'll actively interact with, not just stuff you'll passively watch. Let's lock this definition in, because honestly, it's the key to everything else. Personalized retention means Instagram is finally rewarding deep engagement. We're talking shares, DMs, actual replies, and saves. Those are the signals that really matter now. It's a huge shift from breadth to depth. And listen, this wasn't some slow, gradual change. Nope. This was a deliberate strategy that kicked off in late 2025. It was highlighted by the launch of that new Your Algorithm tool, which, for the first time, gives us real control and transparency over our feeds. And you don't have to take my word for it. This quote from the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, says it all. Check out the keywords there: personalized and valuable. It's all about handing the power back to the user to make the app feel good to use again. So, how does this new philosophy actually work inside the app? Well, to really get it, you have to stop thinking of the algorithm as just one thing. In 2025, it's way more like 4 separate engines, and each one has its own rulebook. Just think of it like this. Reels are for reaching brand new people. The feed and those carousels, that's for nurturing the followers you already have. Stories are for building those deep, personal relationships. And the Explore page, well, that's for pure, wild discovery. Each one has a very specific job. Let's kick things off with Reels. This is your #1 tool for getting your stuff in front of people who have no idea who you are yet. It is built for discovery, designed to show your content to a totally fresh audience. Okay, now this is where it gets really, really interesting. For years, it was all about views, right? Not anymore. The #1 ranking signal for Reels is now sends or shares. When someone actually sends your reel to a friend in a DM, that is the most powerful signal you can possibly send the algorithm. Watch time is a very close second. So what does this mean for you? It means your Reels strategy needs a complete reboot. Stop thinking, how do I go viral, and start thinking, how do I get shared? Create content that's so relatable or so valuable that people just feel like they have to send it to someone. You can even test out new ideas using that trial Reels feature, which shows it to non-followers first. It's a game changer. Okay, next up, the feed, and more specifically, carousels. So if Reels are for reaching strangers, these formats are for your existing followers. This is where you deliver the deep value and really nurture the audience you've worked so hard to build. And in 2025, wow, the comeback is so real. I mean, look at this chart. Carousels are crushing single image posts, performing about 1.4 times better. And why? It's simple. Dwell time. They just keep people on your post longer because they're swiping through. And look, if sends are the new currency for Reels, then saves are pure gold for the feed. A save tells the algorithm that your content is so useful, so important that someone wants to come back to it later. You combine that with the extra dwell time from swiping, that's the winning formula right there. So the strategy here is crystal clear. Use carousels to teach, to show a process, or to tell a great story. Think about step-by-step guides, little mini tutorials, or a really compelling before and after. Give your audience a reason to slow down, swipe through every single slide, and slam that save button. All right, let's talk about stories. This format is not about reach, it is not about discovery. It is about one thing and one thing only:
making the bond with your most loyal followers even stronger.
The algorithm for stories is actually the simplest of them all. It's basically a closeness ranking. Instagram just pushes stories to the front from the accounts you have the strongest relationships with, based on things like DMs, replies, and reactions. It's that simple. So, to win at stories, you have to be interactive. Use all those stickers, polls, quizzes, Q&As, especially in your very first story of the day. Every single tap on a sticker tells the algorithm your content is engaging, and that's what keeps you at the front of the line. And finally, we've got the Explore page. This is Instagram's pure discovery machine. It's designed to help you find new accounts and just dive deeper into whatever you're obsessed with. Landing on the Explore page is really all about making it dead simple for the algorithm to figure out what your content is about. It looks at what you've liked and saved before and tries to find similar stuff. So your job? Make your visuals an absolute scroll stopper and write super clear, keyword-rich captions and hashtags so the algorithm knows exactly which interest bucket to drop you into.
Okay, phew, we've pulled apart all 4 engines. We know how each one works on its own. So the million-dollar question is, how do you make them all work together? Well, the smartest creators out there are using a really simple 3-part funnel strategy.
This right here, this is the master plan for 2025. You use Reels at the top of the funnel to attract new people with broad, shareable stuff. Then use carousels to retain those new followers by giving them deep, educational value that earns those precious saves. And finally, you use your daily stories to convert those followers into a real community through conversations and direct connections. We have covered a ton of ground, I know. So let's bring it all home and quickly summarize the most important things you absolutely need to remember to win on Instagram in 2025. Okay, so let's boil it all down. For Reels, think shareable. For carousels, think saveable. For stories, think interactive. And with that, your algorithm tool giving users so much more control, having a super clear, consistent theme for your account isn't just nice to have anymore, it's absolutely essential for getting seen by the right people. You know, this whole shift puts so much more power back in our hands as users. For the first time, we can actually tell Instagram what we want to see more of or less of. So the big question really is, how is this going to change what our feeds look like in a year, now that we all get a say? And that's how Instagram's algorithm works in 2025. If you want more technical breakdowns of YouTube, Reels, TikTok, and the business of media, subscribe to the Render Loop. We've got new videos coming every single week.